Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday training and I am excited. I personally have a very large to-do list this week. And so I wanted to kind of preface to you guys, just so you know, of some of the things that are going to be happening here in the group. So, Scented Bliss, our main huge big family group, right? We are rebranding. And so we're going to be doing some new and different things to help organize and also to help our newer consultants or those who are switching their mindset from hobby to business, right? So just jumping in. We're really trying to focus on making that a more streamlined process and an organized process, so that when people are looking for specific things, they can go just to that thing. Because I don't know about you guys. The Scented Bliss and my personal team page, right? We've had these pages for quite some time. And especially for newer consultants, when you're just learning and you want to know about like a particular topic, maybe you're just getting ready to start learning Amy, right? The follow-up app. Or maybe you're just now starting to get around to making Happy Mail, things like this, right? Right now, what you kind of have to do, I mean, you can use the search bar in the groups, but really what you have to do is you have to go all the way, right? And keep scrolling. And pretty soon you're either squirreled off for another activity and you're like, oh, something shiny. I'm going to go over here and check this out for a minute. Or you forget altogether and get distracted or get discouraged and you're like, I'm out. So we are going to be doing a rebranding of that. And so that is going to be happening on the Big Bliss page. Along with that, Jacqui is also doing some spring cleaning. So I am revamping my personal onboarding. It's going to be an actual site with all the resources needed for onboarding. And when I say onboarding, that is really just helping your personally enrolled consultants who are starting. Again, just a very organized place for them to go to be able to look at the things that for that level, regardless of your title, right? I don't care if you're a star consultant, but maybe you haven't worked your business in a while and you're like, I need to get back to basics, right? Sometimes we need to go back to basics and we just got to go back and start again or start fresh. And this is a perfect opportunity to do that. So, yeah, my t-shirt is from the Scentsy Success. Yes, so they did this as a special t-shirt not too long ago. So, yeah, hello, ladies. So we've got a rebranding going on there. I'm personally doing a rebranding of this page and, like I said, creating a site as well. So you will be seeing some new things, and I've also thrown in some new goodies. So we will, of course, always and forever still have this Tuesday training every single Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be live, and it will also be, usually I try and make sure that I record and then I upload to my YouTube for those team members who are not on Facebook, because yes, there are people who are not on Facebook, and that is great for them. But I still want to make sure that everybody is getting the same kind of resources that they need. So just another reason why a lot of this rebranding is happening, because y'all know that we don't own Facebook, right? Everything that we put into Facebook, it really becomes part of Facebook, right? So if you were to be put in Facebook jail for whatever reason, right? I never personally have, but I know many people have. So if you ever get that, or if for whatever reason Facebook completely shuts down or something, right? Everything that we have, if we really stand back and look at it, everything that we have for resources for our teams lives there, at least for a lot of us, right? And so normally, even myself, if I'm looking for something specific, I will go to the groups. I'll try to look in the albums or the files, depending on what I'm looking for, maybe try and search it by a keyword, right? And then I will reach out to my workstation or YouTube, wherever I've got stuff. So we really want to make sure that we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, because like I said, we don't own Facebook. If something changes, if something goes wrong, we still want to have access to our own material. And so that's really one of the main reasons to be doing that. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Miss Caitlin. So you will be seeing some more stuff, but don't worry. Don't stress out about it. Don't get confused. Everything will be rolling out slowly, and everything will be rolling out with information to it. So it's not going to be like one day you're going to log on and be like, hey, where'd everything go? Right? That's not how it is. So it's going to be very good. And remember, I just wanted to shout out a reminder that we do have our every Sunday evening on the Bliss group. And I usually make sure to share it here as well. We have a happy hour that you guys are more than welcome to attend. If you want to turn your camera on, leave it off. It does not matter. You don't have to show up dressed to the nines or all looking pretty, right? Some of us are in our PJs. Some of us, last night, I was still kind of eating dinner and doing it. So, or not last night, the night before. And so you just come as you are. That's how it kind of goes. Sorry. My husband's out running errands today and he feels the need to text me every so often. Okay. So those are just some of the things that I just wanted to let you guys know what was happening and what is going on behind the scenes. Something else exciting that we've got going on is I am starting tomorrow is my first official training for that, but I am enrolled in the Scentsy. Scentsy is giving out a certified training program. So I'm taking part in that, and I hope to be able to bring a lot of great golden nuggets back to you guys. So I'm excited to see how the program goes and how it works. And most importantly, what I can pull out of that to give to you guys, because that is truly my mission, is to throw myself into as many things as possible. And then while I'm throwing myself out there, reeling it all in and bringing it all back. So that's really what I'm here for, is to make it so you guys can run your businesses effectively and strategically and intentionally without having to go all over the world like I'm trying to apparently do right now. So I'll take the travel out of it for you, do all the running around, get all the stuff done, and be able to just share the spoils with you guys. So while we are talking about all these different things, we really have to look at our business and really make that determination. Like, are we working our business as a business? Is it a side hustle? Is it a hobby? What is our purpose in this business? Why are we doing all the things that we're doing, right? Why are we building a team? Why are we working for different things? So for some of you, all of us, right? Every single person has a different why that they're putting into their time and effort, right? You need to make sure that you are dialed into yours. And it may change over time. Mine has certainly changed over time, right? Went from hobby, went to side gig, went to, I don't know about this. Like I did have a moment in my journey where I was like, am I really cut out? Like, is this really for me? I don't know. And so I really had to have a good soul searching session. And I actually reached out to Tracy DeMario, my amazing mentor, and had a couple great discussions with her on what do I really want out of this? Is this really something that I want? And I mean, thank goodness it was something I wanted. But sometimes just talking that out with somebody can really make that difference. And that was really the key. I'd already kind of been all in, but that was the key of like, I'm going to start back at zero and I'm going to come at this in a whole different perspective because I need this to be a full-time income. That was when I was making my big transition out of my career and working Scentsy full-time. Like how did that transition take place, right? I needed direction on how to do that. And one of the big pieces of that was really accountability in my business. So the first step is figuring out what it is. The second step is then that accountability factor. So really being able to look at what are the things that you're good at? What are the things that you excel in, right? For some of you, it is sales. Oh my goodness, sales. Some of you, it is sponsoring new team members. That's fantastic, right? Some of you, it may be marketing. Some of you, it may be videos. Some of you, it may be graphics. Some of you, it may be having conversations. You're just able to have such great conversations and build fantastic relationships, not only with your team members, but with customers alike, right? Like you've got those people. So you have to really look to see, where are my strengths, where are my weaknesses? What are the things that I'm good at that I can make sure that I'm putting energy into? And also, we all have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. And being able to identify those, it may not be something that you want to share with the world, but you do need to share it with yourself. So for me, it looked like taking, well, I'd say a piece of paper, but really it's my iPad, really. So, sitting down and writing out, here's what I believe are my strengths. Here are what I believe are my weaknesses. These are where I'm falling short, or these are the things I need to work on that I'm just not so great about. And so Miss Trina is over here building a team today, people. She is building a team. But it's really being honest with ourselves and just taking that honesty look at our business. Then what we need to do is, once you've kind of laid everything out, you really have to assess, Trina, talking it out. Yes, exactly. It helps so much just to either have a conversation with somebody or work it out. It makes a huge difference. But once we do that, we really have to figure out, okay, what are the things that, okay, maybe it's a strength or maybe it's a weakness, but what are these things that it's just not working for me, right? And that may be, we've got a lot of different things happening, right? Whether it be Project Broadcast, which is that texting program, okay? We've got Amy, which is a follow-up. I don't even want to call it just a straight follow-up program anymore, because honestly, it just does so much. So maybe it's just a business tool. I'll just call it a business tool, right? So we've got Amy in there as well. Hey, Miss Diana. We got that there happening, right? And then we also have, we've got Visly for the Facebook parties. We've got Scentsy Share. One of these days I'll figure out how to say that word all together really fast. Those are two semi-similar ways to be able to schedule and post on Facebook. They also include ways to set up email lists and texting as well. Scentsy is way more deeper than Visly. So if you really want a powerhouse to work for you, Scentsy is the way to go. And then, not only that, but just the workstation alone, right? So whether or not you're newer, whether or not you're a seasoned consultant, right? But if that mindset shifts and your why has shifted and you're like, now it's not a hobby, now it's a side gig, or now it's not a side gig, now it's a business. I want to make real income over here. We really have to retrain ourselves into what is going to work for us and what is not. And a lot of that may all boil down to part of your weaknesses and strengths, right? One of my strengths happens to be tech and apps, right? I don't know why, right? Because I'm not a millennial, or I'm in one of those middle classes, right? I'm not a Gen X. I'm definitely not a Gen Z. I don't even remember what my name is anymore for all that. But, just being able to really love and test out different apps and programs is my jam. I love it. I'm kind of a nerd that way. And so that's something that is a strength for me, being able to really work those things out. Graphics is another one of my strengths, and I love doing it. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I find that I'm really good at it. One of my weaknesses is planning all of these things and sometimes falling short. And it's okay to fall short. It's okay to need to take a step back or fall off the wagon altogether, right? The whole point is we get back up and we start over again, or we pick up where we left off, right? One of those great quotes that we see on Pinterest or even on Facebook or Instagram, right? If you fall down 7 times, you get back up 8, right? That's the whole point, is you get back up. We know we're going to have pitfalls. We know we're going to have weaknesses. We know there's going to be times where we can't work our business the same that we would love to work our business, or, life gets in the way, things happen. And we just have to learn how to accept that, be okay with that, and then get back to business, right? So it's getting back to business that can sometimes be the sticking point, because you either have that feeling of failure, which is, I ride that bus every day, right? Failure is like my biggest Achilles heel. I hate the feeling of failure and to feel like I've failed at something. And so I talk down to myself. I say things to myself and I tell myself that I'm not worthy of things when really I am, right? It's all that negative self-talk that happens. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to us and where we're at and where our mindset is. And yeah, not everything does work the same for everybody, right? So we have to figure out, what are all of these tools or resources that we have for our businesses that either work for us or don't. And if you've watched my videos over time or anything like that, right, I've always lived by the motto of to date a program or date a system, right? And what that really boils down to is, I did that with Project Broadcast. I got all into Project Broadcast. I learned as much as I could. I watched tutorials. I sat down with some other leaders and really worked through it, figured it all out, and then put it into practice. And I kept it in practice for about 2 to 3 months. And during that time, it just didn't work for my business. My customers just didn't respond. I think I had maybe like 2 or 3 customers that actually participated in that Project Broadcast. Team members, when I first started sending it out, a lot of people were like, who is this, right? Because it gives a different phone number, right? So it wasn't even like in their contacts as me. So that was even more confusion, right? And then I had people who didn't want anything to do with that. I don't need any more texts, right? I'm good. I get enough. I'm not working my business like you are, Jacqui, right? So it just didn't work for my business. And as much as I wanted it to, and as much as I saw other consultants having great success with it, I just had to, at the end of the day, sit down and say, it's just not for my business. And so I canceled my subscription. I mean, you can still look at it as a free point of view. I mean, I don't know really what you can do with it on the free version, but I think there's a certain amount of things that you can do with it. But I had to cut it. It just wasn't working. It just wasn't. It wasn't my cup of tea, and that's okay. Oh, Lisa, don't worry. You can always catch the replay. Don't you worry. So it's things like that, right? And so you really have to test out the waters, and you really have to see where it is that things are going to work for you and things are not. Another point with being accountable is really sharing the Scentsy lifestyle. And I know I've got a thing for hashtags, right? But hashtag Scentsy life, right? I'm all about the Scentsy life. And mainly because this is my full-time job. But even when it was not my full-time job, I was still the Scentsy life all the way. Because we have an amazing community here. I've witnessed it. I know a lot of you have as well. We have a great community. And the fact of the matter is that we have a business and we have products that are appealing to a lot of people. So they want to come back or continue to buy or start buying from us. But the other flip side of that is we also have products that are consumable. So we have products that when somebody runs out of something, they very well may be ready to buy another. I will tell you, I've been doing Happy Meal for quite some time, right? Quite some time. It's not like I just started it last week. But I've had 2 customers reach back out to me after I sent, was it last month's Happy Meal or the month before, that had reached back out to me after they had received their Happy Meal, their thank you bags for their orders. But I have been sending out, and I'm almost out of them. I've got a handful left because I have been sending them out, right? My samples of my Scentsy Fresh, okay? So it's just these little 5 milliliter vials, right? That has Scentsy Fresh in it. And so those were going out. And I had, was it 2 or was it 3? Anyway, doesn't matter. But I had people specifically reach back out and go, that sample of the fresh stuff, oh my gosh. Now, I really didn't like, I had one person and she was like, because I think it was Clothesline that I used. Is this still Clothesline? This is still Clothesline. She was like, I really liked the Scentsy Fresh, but the Clothesline, I'm just, I don't know. But I do want to try out the other scents. Do you know how she knew there were other scents in it? Spoiler alert, there's a QR code here. And this QR code, when she scanned it with her phone, I set it up to where this QR code goes to just the page of Scentsy Fresh. So another tip for you, if you are sending samples out, things like that, whether it's Scentsy Fresh, whether it's laundry, whether it's hand cream, whether it's counter clean, whether it's whatever, do the QR code. I mean, there are some things that maybe you want it to specifically go to that direct item, like maybe if it's the With box, you're promoting that. Or in my case, my Scentsy Club mailers that are going out, right? This goes just to the Scentsy Club page. The whole point is, though, I was able to send her to the Scentsy Fresh page. And once she scanned that, she looked at that and saw that some of her very favorite fragrances also come in Scentsy Fresh. And so 2 of them have already reordered and have started now ordering Scentsy Fresh simply because they got a sample. And again, not like I haven't been doing samples, right? But samples kind of go in waves. I don't know if it's the same way for you that it is for me. Because these Happy Mail packages that I set up and send out only go to my customers. That's only to somebody who has ordered from me, okay? Back in the day, when I was a young girl consultant, okay, I was like, oh, Happy Mail for everybody. Everybody gets the Happy Mail, right? And of course, what happened is I blew up any profit that I was making because I was spending way too much on mailing. And half, if not more than half, of those people that I was sending all that stuff to, that I thought I was doing such a great job, they weren't buying. So yeah, it was fun to send. Yeah, it was fun to make. Yeah, maybe it made them smile. But in the end, did it really give me a result? No. So I had to change that strategy, right? I had to see what was working, what is not working. So what I have found is that with my customers, and I will say this publicly, right? On my social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, right? And I will tell people that if you're my customer, then hello, you're going to get a thank you from me, right? And when I say thank you, that means the little goodie bag, right? I'm going to send that out. So is it $2 to $3 for me to pack up a goodie bag with a couple of, or, maybe a Scentsy Fresh and maybe, a bigger wax sample, or maybe it's even a bar of scent of the month or whatever, right? It's going to cost me like $2 or $3 to send that out. But because they placed an order with me that was like maybe $75, to me, that justifies that cost, okay? And I will tell you, because I know that as you first are building your empire, okay, when you're building this business into an empire, I want you to know that all of these things are just icing on the whole cake of our business, okay? To have a successful business, you do not have to be doing all of these things. And I don't expect you to be doing all of these things. I've said it a million times, right? A handwritten card speaks volumes, whether or not you send out these or not, okay? At the end of the day, it's about the sentiment. So if you are at a place in your business where you're not making enough money to be able to set aside that income or that percentage, normally for me, I kind of work in percentages. Like I'm going to I'm going to carve out, let's say $40 or something towards mailing for the month, right? So if that happens to go into Happy Mail packs or whatever it is I'm sending out, right? That's what that little budget is there for me. And there for a long time, for many years, I was not at the point to where I could do that. So if you're not at that point, don't do that. That's not going to work for your business, right? We got to get rid of what's not working. So if right now you're in the season of your business where I need all my income, then don't be doing all the fluff. Don't be doing all the icing on the cake, right? Just give them the cake. They still love the cake. Again, that can be a handwritten note. That can be a personal message. That can be a phone call. That can be you. And here's something fun, right? Whether you do TikTok or Snapchat or even use Instagram stories, right? Whatever. Do a fun filter, put on a funny hat, wear some big old sunglasses, right? And dance to a funny song or whatever and send that to them and say, thank you so much. Look, I did an actual happy dance when you ordered from me. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for your order. Does that mean that because you did it that way, you're not going to get any repeat sales? But if you only sent out all that bag of samples that you would have gotten more sales? No, right? You have to look at things in a more business mindset. So until you are at the level where you have more of that disposable income to use towards mailing or getting the fancy things for the samples or buying all the bags that you see that are really cool, right? So yeah, Heather, I'm the same way. Like I went overboard a lot, way sooner than I should have in my business because I was just not at that stage to where I had the extra money that was coming in from my paycheck to be able to say, okay, now I can do all this stuff. Now, maybe if I was very financially well off and I was just like, yes, darling, well, I'm on the yacht today. Maybe I'll order from Amazon some really fancy packaging materials. No, I didn't do that. But if you are, then great. Do it from the yacht, right? And order that stuff and do it to the nines. I don't care. But be very specific because that is the one way. And I say this from experience, from my heart. That is the one way that you will burn out your Scentsy journey. Because you're going to get to the point to where you feel like, I'm not being successful because I can't do all those things, or I don't have the money to send out all of this stuff, right? And so in order to be able to get to that point, we have to build to that point. I say it all the time when I'm talking to people about the opportunity, right? And if the topic comes up, if it's a, MLM or whatever they want to call it, right? I don't care what people call my business. All I know is it pays my bills, right? I don't care what they want to call it. They can call it a dream. They can call it a trip to Disney World. They can call it, I don't know. But my point is the opinions of others do not matter to me. It's at the end of the day, what is taking care of me and my family? And for me and my family, it is this business. So they can talk about it all they want, but it's also not a get rich quick. You're not going to join this month and tomorrow be rolling in the money, right? That's not going to happen. We know this because we work this business. And we know that, yeah, there are going to be times we're going to get to that point in our business where, yeah, we're going to feel like we're rolling in the money because it is possible. But it takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes consistency. It takes showing up. It takes pouring into yourself. It takes a whole lot of things to get to that point. I have been a Scentsy consultant since 2012. I have been doing all the things for a long time. And I can tell you, I've done all the things wrong to help you figure out the ways not to do them. I tell my children the same thing, right? I tried to make all the mistakes I could so you could learn from my mistakes, okay? These are the things that we are able to do and to be able to give to our team members. So we have to figure out what is working for us and what is not. If Mailings look cute, which they do, right? And yeah, they're fun to do. But if we don't have the disposable income for mailing those out, unless they're local, then by all means, do that stuff and then go porch drop it. That's awesome, right? I don't have that many local customers. I am building on my local customer base. Totally am. But I just don't have that large of a customer base that is local that I could do it, because I would like spend one whole day of every week just going and doing porch drop-offs. I would love that if I could do it that way, but for a lot of my business, it is, people who do not live local to me. So it is a lot of mailing for me and my business. Another thing is when it comes to all of this is to refresh. Now, at the beginning of this, I talked a lot about rebranding and refreshing the systems and how resources and things like that are going to be fixed up, right? I'm going to polish it all off. I'm going to give it a nice, clean, counter clean scrub down, okay? And I'm going to scrub it all down because, again, at the end of the day, it all comes back to the basics. And it's so easy. It is so easy to get lost in the icing. So easy. And it's so easy to compare ourselves and our business and where we are to somebody else in their business and where they are, right? Now, while I say that, in the same breath, I am going to say that it is completely true that you will be like the people you surround yourself with. So surround yourself in good company. Does not mean your journey or your business will look exactly the same, but you will start to pick up on the things that they're doing in their business that got them to that successful place, whatever that looks like in your mindset, right? So you're going to start doing those things that will get you there. Does not mean you got to go all in and buy all the fancy things and do all the fancy stuff, but you're going to do what you can within your means. And if you keep doing that, and keep doing that, right? The consistency, the hard work, the dedication. Yeah, there's going to be days where you're like, oh, screw this. I am totally done with this business this week. Nothing has worked in my favor. I've talked to everybody this week. Nothing is going to plan. Have your moment. Have your moment. Step back, breathe, take your time. Do what you need to do to reset yourself and remind yourself of your why. That's why everything that you hear is always centered around that why. And everybody will tell you it needs to be big, it needs to be scary, it needs to mean something. And that's because, look at it like a plant, right? That why is the roots of your plant. And if they're not dug into the dirt and they're not healthy, then that plant is not going to grow. Your business is the same way. If you are not dug in to the reason that you're doing all of these things, then your business isn't going to grow as pretty as you wanted it to. Because there's true power in really putting that why behind your actions. One of the things that I do every single week, because you guys know I plan, right, in my planner. Every single week in my planner, and I write it down at the beginning of the week. I am working my business for my family. It's written at the bottom of in my planner. It's like a weekly view, right? So on the weekly view, it always has that. Oh shoot! Sorry. See, he's at the grocery store. This is what happens. I do need to tell him we need paper towels. Paper towels. Okay. So we have to be able to really pull ourselves back and really look at things from more of that business sense and really keep that why in focus. So if that looks like to you, like I said, like it looks to me, right? Writing it down every single week. My Scentsy is paying for the roof and the electric and the water and the gas. We don't have trash because that's part of the HOA, right? But you get my point, right? That is why I work this business. That is why if something doesn't work for me, I cut it out. Yeah, do I want all the cool things? Of course. I mean, come on. Is Amazon my best friend? Yeah, come on. It is. It just is. But I, just like you guys, every single month, there are months where I'm just like, I can't. I got to cut the icing this month. There are other months where I'm like, okay, I've got an extra, chunk over here. And now I can get the stuff that I've been putting on my Amazon cart. And I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff. And then when I get it, I'm going to get it. I'm going to make it. And I'm going to send it out the door. So I have a due date on my supplies. And I actually started writing it on a Post-it note. And I put it downstairs in my husband's man cave. Why do I put it in my husband's man cave? Why would I do that? Why is it not in my office? Why is it not on my fridge? Why is it not on the bathroom mirror? It's in my husband's man cave because trust and believe. He knows every package that arrives at this house from Amazon because, his name's on the Amazon account too, right? So he gets the text notifications. He sees all the things that get dropped off at my doorstep, right? Do you think that he's going to let me forget? Hey, you just ordered a whole bunch of stuff. Why aren't you doing these samples? Thanks for calling me out. But sometimes we need to be called out. And that's that accountability factor. So whether or not that's your spouse or your best friend or your kids, trust if your kids or anything, well, listen, Quentin, they're older. They're kind of in their own, I'm a young person and I'm living my life, YOLO. But Madison, she's 11 and a half, right? She forgets nothing. She's like a little elephant in that way, right? She forgets nothing. If we are about to go out to like Target or the grocery store, I'll be like, hey, Madison, don't let me forget to get dog food. And sure enough, we will get through the store and she'll be like, Mom, don't forget dog food. Thank you. Maybe I should start putting the Post-it note in her room. Anyway, I put it down there because he will hold me accountable. And he will come and he will be like, hey, so did you make those samples yet? And yeah, I'll get annoyed with him because he's my husband and I can do that. I get to annoy the same person for the rest of my life. But at the end of the day, I need that accountability. Because otherwise what will happen? I could sit here and have a whole shelf full of little pink spray vials, right? Because I get excited in the icing and I get excited at all the cool things I see. And then I see somebody else making it this way on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever. And I'm like, oh, now I got to make it that way, right? So let me order those supplies. And then what happens? You don't do anything with the supplies. So we got to do things. So find your why, root it down. Okay, picture your plant. You got to have those roots strong. Figure out what's working for you in your business, what is not, and what is the fluff that you need to cut out. Maybe it is some of those programs. Maybe you just need to be like, hey, putting my blinders on and I'm going to focus on one program right now. So maybe that's Project Broadcast. Maybe that's going to work for you. You want to give it a try. Maybe that's Visly. Maybe you want to give that a try. Maybe it's Scentsy. Maybe you want to give that a try. Maybe it's Trello. I mean, there's so many different things, right, that we all use. And yeah, it's wasted money. Heather's exactly right. Exactly right. I think I had told Kimber this at one point in time, but yeah, I used the app Over for like all of my graphics, and it's one that I fell in love with in, I don't know, years ago. And I just started using it, and I just, honestly, it's like second nature to me. I can get in there and make a graphic in like 2 seconds. Just because I'm just so familiar with the program and I know how it works. So I do buy the pro version of that because I use it for everything. I had seen everybody making all the cool things on Canva. And I've had it on my list of things like I want to learn how to do. I need to do Canva better. I need to try Canva better. Because, yeah, there's a lot of things in that program that, yeah, I could probably really use and maybe even eliminate some other stuff, right? So what did I do? I was like, all right, woke up one morning, I'm going to learn Canva today. Okay, so I pull up Canva. I'm on the computer, right? So I'm doing it from the computer. So I'm sitting here at my desk, pull up Canva. Oh, yeah, I should probably go ahead and upgrade this. Yeah, because I want to have all the features. Yeah, I mean, I can't do this if I don't have all the features, right? So got my subscription in. I played around with it for a little while, then a little while longer, then a little while longer, then a little while longer. Then I had to look up a YouTube video. By that time, I was like, screw this. I'm done for the day, right? So I walk out of my office. What happened? 2.5 months later, when I just happened to check my bank account, and I'm like, what's this subscription? Canva subscription. Oh yeah, I subscribed to Canva. I'm not even using it. Not even am I using it, but I'm not using the pro features. I'm like literally not using it. Why am I still paying for it? These are the things that happen to all of us. To all of us. So we do have to have these reminders every so often that we just got to cut it out. And so I do. I cut out a lot of the fluff, right? And now I'm just down to, these are the ones that I'm working on. These are the 2 that I'm really focusing on. And I'm focusing on them, and I'm keeping my blinders on, even though I see all the other cool, pretty things. And I'm like, no, I've made a promise to myself that until I learn these, until I either determine that it's not working or whatever, I'm going to continue with these. I'll get to you over there, but I gotta focus here. We have to really also focus on activities that are going to yield us results. And again, this is part of that fluff. It's part of the icing, right? We can get so caught up in doing things for our business that really doesn't yield us any result. Any of you guys feel this way? I feel this way a lot sometimes. Where I'm like, gosh, I just feel like I've just been watching things and doing this and doing that, but I'm not really focusing in on anything. And that is, in a sense, like Heather said, with the subscriptions, right? Instead of looking at a waste of time, you need to equal time is money, right? We're here as business owners. And when you run a business, let me tell you right now, I can tell you one of the very first things that I learned in one of my very first business classes in college was time is money. And yeah, just because I work from home and just because this is my full-time job doesn't mean that my time is not worth money, because it is. Because if there are activities or things that I can be doing today that will yield me money or yield me actionable things, right? Where maybe it's having a conversation with a new customer, whether it's putting out a post on the local Nextdoor app about my business and how next month when we do our big garage sale that I'm going to set up and I'm going to have some Scentsy, right? Like those are things that are actionable things that I should be doing. And time equals money. So if I just sit here and I'm like, YouTube. Oh, look at that video. That looks cool. Oh, look at that video. Okay. I could stay here all day long, honestly, and watch YouTube video tutorials about everything. But if I'm not putting in anything into action, I'm not doing it. Same thing with the Amazon stuff. If I'm buying it and it's sitting there in my office, that is not making me any money. And that was a big fat waste of time and like real money because I bought it, right? So, but you see the point. You see the point. You could scroll Facebook all day long. Is that action making you money? No. No, so it's a waste of time, which equals a waste of money. Because that's income rolling out the door. Rolling out the door. I need to be bringing in more income. Connecting with your customers. And I'm going to try and tie this up. I don't even know if I'm really tying it up in a bow or I'm just like adding on another topic here. But when we're talking on social media, because hello, the world we're in, a lot of comments I hear are, you know, I don't get the interaction. Nobody's responding. I don't get it. Crickets in my VIP group, whatever. Try posting at different times. That's one way to kind of break up the monotony. So if you're one person who maybe you post whether you schedule them or not, if you're just posting during the day, maybe try posting in the evenings or later on in the day, right? Try doing that. Switch things up. if you are scheduling, that's one of the things that I'll share with you. One of the things I do when I'm scheduling, because I do use Visly to schedule my posts in my VIP group and my Facebook page, right, for my business. And I will schedule those out. And it was very easy because when I first started doing it, everything was like first thing in the morning. Okay, I had to figure out that I also needed to start scheduling things in the afternoons, because I started seeing I was getting reaction and more interaction on the posts that were happening later on in the afternoons. Why? Because hello, some people work. Yeah, did you know that? Some people work, and so they're not being able to look at things until maybe they get home or starting to look at Facebook or their social media in general. So try posting at different times. Another thing is to try something different. Post something different and at least 2 times per week, if you're really trying to build your social media presence or really trying to get engagement in a group, 2 times a week, post something that has nothing to do with business, nothing to do with Scentsy, nothing to do with anything. Maybe it's a picture of an Oreo cookie. How do you eat your Oreo? I guarantee you'll have like 20 different responses. People love to give their opinion. We know this, right? We have to break up the monotony in what we're doing. Why? Okay, figure it back out into this algorithm, right? Look at your social media. What is working? What is not? If you're posting pictures of warmers and nobody's commenting, that's not working. So we need to figure out, okay, maybe I need to post them later on in the day or earlier on in the day. Maybe you post in the evenings or at night, right? Try switching it, flip it around, look at it from a different view. And then if that doesn't work, or maybe that kind of works, but not really, right? Then that means you need things that people want to see more than just Scentsy. So if that is the Oreo cookie question, right? Or maybe it is, I want to teach my dog how to roll over. Maybe I want to teach Hero how to roll over. He can't because he has a broken hip, but right? Post different things that have something to do with you or have something to do with your interests or something that you're about or your hobbies or the things that you love, right? But just post a question. Maybe it's, hey guys, I'm looking for dinner ideas. I've been serving the same stuff for the last 3 weeks. I need some new fresh ideas. What are your favorite dinner recipes? You're going to get responses. And so we all know there's this big scary thing called the algorithm. And we know that the algorithm, yes, it can be scary and frustrating and we can hate it as much as we want to, but it's not going away. So we have to break that algorithm. So if you're not getting interaction on your posts on social media, you got to flip it around. You got to try posting different things. Try things that aren't Scentsy. If that's all you post to Scentsy, you need to be breaking it up. And like I said, I recommend at least 2 times a week. Maybe that's on Tuesday and Friday. I don't know. Pick a couple days where you either schedule, if you're scheduling your posts or if you're just putting them out there. I think scheduling is really a great way to do it. By the way, you can use Visly, you can use ScentShare. Those are paid programs, but if you're not there yet, that's okay. Facebook does have the ability to schedule posts. Built into Facebook. Okay, you can do this. So you can do it without even spending the money, but scheduling is going to save you a lot of time, which remember, time equals money. Okay, so it's going to also save you money by scheduling because it's going to open you up for other things that you can be doing to create action in your business. This is the way of building our empires. This is the way of building our businesses. This is the way of being consistent. This is the way to put the time and the energy and the effort into being intentional in our business. If this is your hobby, awesome. You do you, boo. Do you. If this is your side gig, if you're trying to make that car payment, if you're trying to make that house payment, whatever it is, then these are the things that you need to start looking at. And these are the things that you need to start really implementing into your business, because those are the things I will tell you right now that changed my business from being just a side business to being a full-time income. That's what did it for me. And you guys know I'm an open book. I'm here to share, 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 because there's room for all of us at the top. Not just one of us, all of us, all of us, all of us, all of us. And I want all of us there, because it's really boring if somebody was just sitting up there all by themselves. I don't care what they tell you. Unless it's at the beach. That I wouldn't mind. Margarita in my hand, sunglasses on, toes in the sand, listening to the beach or listening to the ocean. Then I'd be just fine. But no, anywhere else, we need people at the top with us, right? So we're all coming. We're all coming. This is a big journey that we're all going on, okay? Not just one of us. So, all right, he should be coming home with the groceries. I guess I should help him bring those up. Okay, I love you all. Think of different ways that you can put action into your business this week. And if you are feeling like you want to share those, or if you're feeling like you need accountability, post in the group. And just, first word can just be my accountability post. I don't care, right? And you can have accountability with us. You can do it with your spouse. You can do it with your BFF. You can do it with the babysitter. You can do it with the kids if they're old enough to understand. Like I said, Madison will remind me all day long. I need to put the Post-it in her room. But yeah, it would get boring. Although, I don't know, the ocean, I don't know. Maybe I should just give it a shot and just go hang out at the ocean for like 2 months, and then I'll come back and be like, yeah, it was boring, or no, it wasn't boring. I enjoyed every single minute of that. Okay. Stop dreaming now of beaches and margaritas. All right. Have a great rest of your week. This is the last week of the month, you guys. So do all the pushing that you've got to do. If you haven't yet reached your goals, you know what to do. You know what to do. So if you need help, the groups are there for you. Reach out to your sponsor, your director, or myself if I am not one of those, and we can definitely help you out and get that going. And then we're going to get ready for a big May. Plus, we are restarting the annual mentor and annual sales. So I'm going to be focusing on that because I know it's my focus for this next year of Scentsy. And I say that not as a new year, but because May 1st starts the qualification period. So next week, be prepared to be hearing all about annual mentor and all about annual sales and how we are making our plan to do it, because we're achieving these things next year, people. Big things are happening. And I'm going to give a big kudos and shout out to Lisa Sanderson, our one of our directors. She earned both mentor and annual sales. So you want real inspiration, you really want help, tag Lisa. Lisa will jump in and she will help you too. She earned both of them. I mean, just to earn one of them, I was so proud to earn annual mentor last year. And I thought I was like on top of the world. I can't even imagine earning both. I mean, that's rock star status. So I can't wait to get to that point. Yes. Yes, Heather, go read a good motivational book. That'll be good. No, just my toes in the sand. I don't want to like be rolling in it. No, I'm going to sit on like a beach chair, if anything. But yeah, that's the whole point, right? I got to have a free hand for my drink, right? When they bring me the new margarita. So can't have sand there. All right, y'all. I love you. I will talk to you soon. Have a great end of the month. We've got more fun things coming, so be watching. Bye.